that I'm not alone. The song of the meadowlark sings to my soul, tenderly calling me home. And all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. And all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. La da na 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 na. I am walking beside the still waters, as fresh as the breeze at dawn. The voice of my ancestors whispering, giving me the strength to carry on. All shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. And all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. Surely goodness and mercy will follow, and love will be leading the way. Every shadow will shine in the fullness of time, and bloom in the hearts of the brave. And all shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. All shall be well, all shall be well, all manner of things shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. We are awakening to the calling of the mystic, awakening in the flowering of the heart. Everybody here, melting into presence, overflowing effervescence, rising in love. We are awakening to a long forgotten memory. Dawn is breaking, waves are coming in, and everybody here standing in wonder beneath the rain and the thunder, rising in love. Shanti Satchidananda. Om Shanti. Om. Sing together. Om Shanti Satchidananda. Om Shanti. Om to this perfect imperfection, awakening in the oneness of it all. Everybody part of each other, sister and brother, rising in love. Shanti Satchidananda. Om Shanti Satchidananda. Om Shanti. Om Shanti Satchidananda. We are awakening. Men, sing that with me. We are awakening. We are awakening. Awakening. We are awakening. Women with Deva.
We are awakening. We are awakening.
And bringing the voices together. We are awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening, awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening. Awakening, awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening.
Living in the day-to-day, I sometimes push my dreams away, worried that the hours are running thin. But each time I walk away from me, there's a pull of who I used to be. That old familiar pang is coming through. I struggle to remember then, the edge of fear is like a friend. I walk the line as I am hoping to get in the flow, like the wind blows through the trees, like a river running with great ease. On a silky sunlit day, it's so carefree. Get in the flow, don't you know that it's smooth as ice? When you're in it, moving twice as nice, gliding take the time for me, the words inside are finally freed, mindful of the voice that lays its claim. I hear it in the rain, I find it when I'm here again. I wonder every time it calls my name. Now the muse is next to me, her glory only I can see. Let's do it, says a voice as loud as can be. Get in the flow like the wind blows through the trees, like a river running with great ease on a silky sunlit day. It's so carefree. Get in the flow, don't you know that it's smooth as ice when you're in it, moving twice as nice, gliding through the world for all to see. Blows through the trees like a river running with great ease on a silky sunlit day. It's so carefree. Get in the flow, don't you know that it's smooth as ice when you're in it, moving twice as nice, gliding through the world for all to see. Get in the flow like the wind blows through the trees, like a river running with great ease on a silky sunlit day. It's so carefree. Get in the flow, don't you know that it's smooth as ice when you're in it, moving twice as nice, gliding through the world for all to see. Gliding through the world for all to see. Gliding through the world for all to see.
Wayfarer, wanderer, come, come, come. Timid, hesitant, and shy, come, come, come. Oh, weary laborer, come, come, come. Playful, ready to fly, come, 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 just come. Simply come. No need to pack it all up. Yes, it's best left behind. no place and time, no place and time. So whoever you are, come, come, come. From the rain, from the sun, come, come, come. Of the earth and of the stars, come, come, come. Beginning or done, come, 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 just come. Simply come.
Good morning, everybody. We're welcoming you in the sanctuary, and we're welcoming you out there on the World Wide Web. Wherever you are in the world this morning, we're excited that you're with us at Columbine Spiritual Center. We have a huge treat for you today. They missed their last time around. We're so glad to have them back. This is Bettman and Halpin. Woo!
If I had a million hearts, I would give them all away to the broken-hearted people that you see from day to day. If I had a million hearts, I would give a heart to you. Then you'd know how much I love you, and our tears would all be through. So many people walking through their lives, you never notice the pain they hold inside. Too close, they will run or fall apart. For the tears that have been buried are still carried in our heart. If I had a million hearts, I would give them all away to the broken-hearted people that you see from day to day. If I had a million, I would give a heart to you. Then you'd know how much I love you, and our tears would all be through. As a child, I must have learned I was not enough. Love must be earned. Now I've spent so many years trying to undo the learning of the pain and doubt and fear. If I had a million hearts, I would give them all away to the broken-hearted people that you see from day to day. If I had a million hearts, I would give a heart to you. Then you'd know how much I love you, and our tears would all be through. If I had a million hearts, I would give them all away to the broken-hearted people that you see from day to day. If I had a million hearts, I would keep one heart for me. Then I'd know how much you love me, and I'd finally be free. Everybody sing! Oh, ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la 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 la. If I had a million hearts, ooh la la la. If I had a million
Thanks, Bettman and Halpin, everybody. We're going to hear a lot more from them today. And now we say officially good morning and welcome to Columbine Spiritual Center. We're centered in God. We celebrate a world of harmony, peace, abundance, and some good old Mardi Gras. One more Sunday. Please stand and join us as we sing. This is a little mashup now. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Let's do that again. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Number 2. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. One more time. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Here's Rachel. Swing low, sweet chariot. Oh, when the saints for to carry me home. Oh, how I want to be in that number. When the saints for to carry me home. Let's switch. Swing low, go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching. Take it home. Oh, how I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Woo! You know, Lent is coming up on Tuesday, right? That's called Fat Tuesday and Ash Wednesday. So let's get all that last minute celebrating in. We're also
Yes.
celebrating Black History Month for one more month, so we're going to do one of our favorite Ricky Beebe's song from Agape. Here we go. Whoa, the Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa, Spirit of God is upon me. That's all it is. Whoa, Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa, Spirit of God is upon me. Whoa. Used to think that I had to. Used to think that I should. The scripture told me that I had to be good. But now I love you, 'cause I want to be free. Blinded by spirit. Oh Lord, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, 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 let your inner Ricky out right here. Thought it was my duty. I thought it was my job. Somewhere I believed loving God would be hard. But loving God is wonderful. Loving God is ecstasy. Thank God for my freedom. Oh, I want to tell you that Spirit of God is upon
feeling it. Are you feeling
in the
it?
spirit. All right, we're going to welcome you to grab a seat. Make sure it's your own. No stealing of seats. We're going to slow things down, and we're going to sing a meditation song by Kool and the Gang.
Cherish the love we have. We should cherish the life we live. Cherish the love. Cherish the life. Cherish the love. Cherish the love we have. For as long as we all shall live, cherish the love, cherish the life, cherish the love, cherish the love we have. We should cherish the life we live. Cherish the love, cherish the life, cherish the love, cherish the love we have. For as long as we all shall live, cherish the love, cherish the life, cherish the love.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Colleen Jane, and I'm a licensed Unity teacher here at Columbine and a former prayer chaplain. And just wanted to remind all of you at any time that you're in need of prayer, you may call on me or any of our prayer chaplains. They are here to pray with you at any time. We are still working on our 64 days of nonviolence thoughts. And today the word is forgiveness. It's hard to forgive, but forgiveness is nothing you do but for yourself. It's something you do for yourself. And that's azem kamisa. And the affirmation is, refusing to forgive keeps us stuck in the moment of the assault. Today I forgive, knowing it is time to move on with my life. So take a deep breath and surround all of the names in the prayer box in the lobby, all of the names on our prayer list, and surround yourself with forgiving thoughts. For as you forgive yourself, you are more able to forgive others. And rest in that knowing that the spirit of forgiveness ripples out across the world to every soul in need, blessing them, nurturing them, and lifting them up. And we are truly grateful as we move into a time of silence and let ourselves be still and loved in the forgiveness of Spirit.
Cherish the love we have, for as long as we all shall live. Cherish the love, cherish the life, cherish the love, cherish the love.
Rustling in the dark, spirits in the shadows. No one knows the things I see. Beating of my heart, spirits in the shadows, running from what's haunting me. My father's mother's father, someone I've never seen. They said he'd set me free from sin, but I never sinned. And this my grandma's father, a man so pure and clean. They said he would be here again, but it's never been. Rustling in the dark, spirits in the shadows. No one knows the things I see. Beating of my heart, spirits in the shadows, stepping from what's haunting me. Said he would watch over me, and I'd never be alone. Not to trust the things I feel, so I do not feel. Funny how they disappear. I've tried so hard to be the one. He was a hand-me-down God. Now I'm handing him on. Rustling in the dark, spirits in the shadows. No one knows the things I see. Beating of my heart, spirits in the shadows, stepping from what's haunting me. My father's mother's father, someone I've never seen. They said he'd set me free from sin.
I think we'll see that the music today is very supportive of the talk. Spirit in the shadows, don't forget that one. There's a story told of a wealthy man who really had enough money that he could buy or do virtually anything he wanted. But he found himself full of worry and unsettled. And so he'd heard about a sage in a neighboring village. So he left the city that he was living in, and he went on a quest to find the spiritual sage. And indeed, he found him in a hut in this small village. And he explained to the sage his situation. And the sage said, "Come back tomorrow at this time, and I'll tell you the secret to everlasting happiness and a sense of ease and fulfillment in life." And so the next day, the wealthy man shows up at the sage's hut, and he finds the sage on his hands and knees. And he says, "Did you lose something?" And he said, "Yeah, I dropped a ring, and I'm trying to find it." And the wealthy man immediately gets down on his hands and knees, and he's looking for the ring. And after quite some time and not finding the ring, the wealthy man says to the sage, "Where exactly did you drop the ring?" He goes, "Oh, I dropped it in the hut, but it's dark in the hut. I thought it'd be much easier to find out here." And the man looks at him rather questioningly. "So you dropped it in the hut, but we're looking for it out here?" And the sage looks him right in the eyes and says, "And that is the solution to your problem." How many of us have been guilty of falling trapped to the belief that happiness is something that we're surely going to find out there, right? I mean, am I the only one? I mean, when I think of the money I would have saved, if I would have just known that really the source of happiness is something that comes from deep within us. Oh, sure, there's lots of catalysts out there for it, but it's an inner journey to happiness. And the story tells us a secret as to why we keep getting lulled into thinking it's out there, when it tells us that the hut was dark. For you see, our egos are working to keep us thinking it's out there. There's a huge amount of momentum. Even I find myself thinking, oh, if I just had that. After all the years of meditating and work I've done, that ego lulls me in again, because you see, it's not wanting us to go into the dark of our consciousness. It's not that our whole consciousness is dark, but in the shadows, there'll be hurt, woundedness, disappointment, pain. And our ego just doesn't think we have the capacity to be there. I love this song, though, because Spirit is in the shadow. Spirit's there to work with us in the shadows, in the dark. So, today we're going to look at happiness. And how do we find lasting happiness? And let's start out by just exploring happiness. If we look at, remember how we say we are spiritual beings having a human experience? Well, happiness is a human experience. Not that humans are the only ones that can experience happiness, but in the range of things, we experience happiness as human beings when the things we desire, manifest in our lives, or when life conforms to our attachments, to the way we think life should go, then we feel happy. Happy is circumstantial. And the challenge with that is that while everything can come together to make you happy in this moment, the circumstances can change. It's a bummer, isn't it? And then what do we have? Well, then we're unhappy. And like the gentleman, the wealthy man, we're maybe feeling disappointed, we're feeling frustrated, we're worried. Happiness comes and goes. And so when the ego puts us on a quest for happiness, there's no ultimate place of happiness. The other thing about then trying to be happy is inherent in not being satisfied with the moment is we're not in the moment. If you notice that the ego wants to take you on to, if we just had, or remember the good old days. But it doesn't like to land here in this moment. And so then we're deprived of all the support of our nature, of our true nature, which brings in so many capacities and so much support for living life. And so we're working with Brené Brown's book, The Gift of Imperfection. She points out that there's a quality of scarcity in chasing happiness. We can be wealthy, but because we don't feel any sense of support in that wealth, we're working hard to hold on to it, or we don't know when enough wealth is enough wealth. We're always dissatisfied, and we're worried that someone's going to take it from us, or we're not going to know how to hold on to it. We suffer in that disconnection. In my research for this talk, I ran into a writing by the Reverend Charles Lely. Charles was a Unity minister. In fact, he might still be alive. He was ordained in 1968, and he immediately went to work for Unity Village in their publishing department. He was an editor. And he is considered to be one of the first that wrote about the fact that you can trust the unfolding of your life. You see, in the Unity that I grew up in, it was all about, you need to get clear on what you want this life to be. right? And if you get clear and if you never think a negative thought, then your life will be a bowl of cherries. Right. And yeah, there's divine order, but that divine order was just in the unfolding of what you wanted. You have to be patient because it's going to happen according to God's time. Now listen to what Charles Lilly says. This, by the way, is my soulmate, really. I've felt very alone in Unity till I met Charles. Perhaps life is not meant to be a continual bowl of cherries, but rather an opportunity for developing our roots or our foundation for higher responsibilities, for bringing forth something beyond what we even imagine, with their co-commitment capacity for greater joy. It's key that he brings in the word joy. Because you see, when that great sage says, I'm going to give you the key to lasting happiness, he's pointing to joy. And let's see if we can't tease that out a little bit. What's joy? Well, in comparison to happiness, joy is a quality of your Christ nature, of your true nature. In that, when you're experiencing joy, you're experiencing a state of being. It's not dependent on circumstances. Have you had the experience? Joy, by the way, is a heart quality. Have you had the experience of stepping out in some alignment with your love, with your passion, with something that's true for you, and it not going the way you thought it was going to go, and maybe there's utter chaos and there's all sorts of not knowing, but when you pause, by golly, you're still joyous. Why? Because you've aligned with something that's true for you. Something in you is coming forth. Something in you is being called out into the world. And the amazing thing is usually you're damn happy. Lasting happiness. Brene Brown quotes Adela Rogers St. John's. Joy seems to me a step beyond happiness. Good start. Happiness is a sort of atmosphere you can live in sometimes when you're lucky. Well put. Joy is a light that fills you with hope, faith, and love. Heart qualities. And you see, unlike happiness, which is fleeting, when we connect with our true nature, there is a support in every power and every quality that comes forth. Joy helps us break out of the mundane that the ego tends to lull us into and invites us to align with our hearts. Our whole theme this year is choose love over fear. And we're starting out with how do you live a wholehearted life? We begin the process of unleashing our joy. Because joy shines light in the areas we've been afraid to look. Supports us coming forth. Rachel's nodding her head. Rachel is stepping out into some alignment with truth in her life. So, and I forgot. I'm going to go back and do this quote anyway. I told Colleen, Spirit doesn't seem to want me to do this quote because I keep running it over. So, remember I talked about the scarcity. And I want you to just hear what Eric Butterworth had to say about, well, actually, I'm sorry, not yet. take it down. I just got a take as to how to use this. I don't know, Spirit works in mysterious ways. So how do we unleash joy? Because you see, joy is a quality of our true nature. And the interesting thing about qualities of our true nature is you can't will them into action. We have to look at what blocks them, and we often then have to develop our capacity in our soul to allow them to happen. So what's the block to joy in us? Well, interestingly enough, it's wanting something different than what we have right now. Do you see how that takes us out of the moment, takes us out of disconnection? How many of you right now are wishing that you had something different than you have right now? Like, would you hurry up and get to the point? I mean, it's just so easy to get out of the point. The moment can be very challenging and frustrating, right? But when we can stay with what is, then we open up to finding the blessing in everything that's happening. And so how do we do that? Well, Brene very beautifully says through the practice of gratitude. Isn't it interesting that, and if you're familiar with the different practices of gratitude, like one of the ones that I like to practice, and I practiced for years, was getting a gratitude journal. And every night before I went to bed, in fact, the gratitude journal was on my nightstand, and I did it before I went to bed. I would list out however many I could, 10, 20 things I was grateful for. Well, you know, rarely do you put down, well, I'm grateful for that thing that's going to happen, you know, when life finally becomes my bowl of cherries. No, you're being asked, what are you grateful for today? And it has this great process of bringing you back into the moment. Right back into the moment. Even if it's not this moment, it takes you right back into the moment of what happened. It starts to orient you towards, hey, I can be in the moment. It's okay. And in fact, there's something to be grateful for in the moment. Lots of different gratitude. I think there's probably gratitude journals in the bookstore. You can also do gratitude prayers, gratitude meditations. There's several of you that I know are like me. When we get older, I often just say out loud, thank you, God, when I remember something that I would have forgotten. You know, just recognize the gratitude, right? And then what we see is that gratitude then comes up and supports us. In its many different ways of supporting us, in breaking out and living our truth. Eric Butterworth, Spirit is so good, says we have a choice to be great or small. When we're grateful, we're great. When we become lax in the expression of gratitude, we become little people with little minds leading little, inconsequential lives. Yeah, amen. Because remember I told you, the ego is very good at lulling us into, if only. And then what happens is we are out of the moment. We don't have the support. Another heart quality is courage. We start living a smaller life, just like the wealthy man, full of anxiety, unsettled, never getting to just enjoy the blessing of life. Isn't it funny? Have you noticed how when you really orient towards joy and happiness, it's the little things that bring you so much joy? so much happiness. So I have a word of caution, though. Joy, as with many other qualities of spirit, can bring up a lot of vulnerability in us. Because you see, all qualities of spirit align with the truth. And so if we're not living our truth, when we unleash these qualities, they're pointing towards the truth. And it can make you feel pretty anxious. I'll tell you just a fun story. Well, it wasn't so fun in the moment. Probably sadly set a direction in my life that I wish I would have known what I know today. So when I was 13, I threw a party. I'd like to say that I threw a party for my friends, but I didn't really have friends. I had acquaintances. I was in that weird place of not being understood by the people that probably could have been my good friends. And so I was hanging out with a group of people that would accept me, which were usually they were pretty smart, they were a little nerdy, they were fringy on the edges. So I invited, 12 or 15 of them over. We had a really fun house with, it was a fall party. We were out in the pool. But I invited one guy that didn't fit into the group. He was a great athlete. He was incredibly creative in school. We had a couple of classes together. I was really impressed with what he came forward with, his projects and his talks. And he was definitely, what would you call it, the A group? Do you know what I mean? Sort of the in group. That would have been another, he was in the in group. But what was cool was, unlike most of the boys in the in group, he never gave me a hard time. But here's the clincher. I had a major crush on him. Oh my God. I don't know what got into me. I mean, think of the courage it took to invite him. I didn't really even know him. I mean, we were in class together. He probably knew my name. I certainly knew his name. But I invited him. Kind of didn't even expect him to come, right? So I'm in the pool. We had quite a large patio. We had a very big, entertaining house. So he was probably. So what happened was, I see him walk onto the patio, which is the way you sort of entered the backyard, and I was suddenly flooded with joy. Be careful. I'm surrounded by a group of these acquaintances, and I said, "There's Chris. I love this guy. I think he's the greatest guy." And the pool gets very quiet. Today, no one would think anything of it today. Back then, when would that have been? I was 13, so that was in the early 70s. No, in the early, if I was born in, early 70s, sorry. Early 70s. And then there was the shaming, right? That's the hardest part. That's kind of weird. Guys don't say that about other guys. And all of a sudden, so joy has sort of a breaking out energy, right? It wells up inside of you. And I'm working to get it back down in the box, right? And it shut me down. Like, he showed up at my party. And I said hi to him, I'm sure. I know I said hi to him. I'm sure I tried to make some small talk. But I could have been much more open-hearted, right? I'm so glad you came. I really have appreciated being in class with you. I think you really do some creative and interesting stuff. I'm glad you're here. That's the kind of engagement that we see movies about, right? where quite surprising things can happen. So Brene beautifully says, if you're going to unleash joy through gratitude, you also need to develop your capacity to be vulnerable. Because the truth will be carried by the joy. And sometimes the truth is a little surprising to us, or we're not quite ready, or at least we don't think we are. Remember, the Bible tells us that Spirit is no respecter of men. Spirit propels you to the light, not asking you when you're ready to be the light. And joy is an incredible vehicle to ride to the truth. I want to close with a quote by Brene. There's one guarantee. If you're not practicing gratitude and allowing yourself to know joy, if we're not, we are missing out on the two things that will actually sustain us during the inevitable hard times: joy and gratitude. Namaste.
Once again, let's bring up Stephanie and Luke. And you know, Stephanie and Luke can be yours to take home if you visit their merch table out in the lobby. So you can have them in your ears all the time. It's a really nice soundtrack for life. Thanks for being here, you guys.
You are welcome.
Our pleasure.
It seems to me that there's a shadow on the sun, but I keep on saying that sunny days will come again. They will come again. It seems to be a tragic contradiction in the world of right and wrong and who belongs and the meaning in the name of God. The name of God. But hey, what can I say? I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. It's all I can do. And hey, don't run away. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. And love you, it seems to me that we are swimming in the dark, and someone started the rumor of a shark somewhere. There's a shark somewhere. So here we are clinging to the pillar of a pier. The rumor is the killer. There's no sharks here. It's just fear. It's just fear. And hey, what can I say? I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. It's all I can do. And hey, don't run away. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. Love you, I do.
So fear not, fear not, fear not. And hey, what can I say? I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. It's all I can do. And hey, don't run away. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. Love you, I do.
Everybody sing along. Hey, what can I say?
And hey, what can I say? I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. It's all I can do. And hey, don't run away. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. Love you, I do. It seems to me that there's a shadow on the sun, but I keep on saying that sunny days will come again. They will come again. Thank you.
And we just love you.
We do.
Thank you for being
just
here,
wanna
Stephanie and Luke. So this is a time in our service where we gratefully receive your love offerings and tithes, and we couldn't do this without you and without your support, your financial support. So thank you for every dollar that comes our way. If you're at home, we invite you to go to our website and hit that donate button or text to give 720-902-9998. And we'd like to say an offertory blessing together. Let's do that right now. God's love has always met and will always meet all my needs. I give freely, I receive abundantly, and I am grateful. Amen. Okay, if you are new to us here in the sanctuary or at home, we would love to connect with you. We'd love to meet you. Please, we've got a director of community care. Rachel is in the back, and she would love to meet you if you're here in the sanctuary. If you are at home, you can subscribe to our email update that goes out every Thursday and our digital bulletin that comes out every Sunday by email. Just go to the homepage at the bottom. It says subscribe now. Just click that button and give us your email address. We'd love to connect. We've got a little bit of community news. Next Sunday, we're going to do the Burning Bowl. Remember, we were closed for in-person services when we normally do this service, which is the end of the year, the beginning of a year. And we decided this year since we couldn't do it then, we're going to do it next Sunday, which is the first Sunday of Lent. So many of you grew up in a traditional Christian background, and we give up things during Lent. So this is your opportunity to give up something that's no longer serving you and put it in the flames, let it go. So join us next Sunday here in the sanctuary. We will have fellowship again after the service. We'll have our regular coffee, food, whatever we do, whatever you bring after the service. So we would love to connect with you all once again. Janice has a big announcement.
I do. First, I want to give a shameless plug, however. The Boulder International Film Festival is happening next weekend, Thursday to Sunday, and I'll be performing in the Singer-Songwriter Showcase on Thursday with Marcy and Dan. It's a free show. It starts at 6 o'clock. My set is at 8:30, and it's downtown at the former Walrus on 11th and Walnut. It's now called the Spotted James. So go figure. Anyway, come on out. There's amazing singer-songwriters, and I'm kind of the one new thought person, so I'm happy to be holding that down. Speaking of music, on March 12th, we're in the middle of a season for nonviolence right now, and we always like to do something musical. We've been doing Peace Through Music for years, but we moved it outside into the summer last season, and we're going to continue with that. So this season, we're bringing in something that's been a dream come true for me, which is to bring artists and musicians from all walks of life, including different spiritual paths, cultures, and traditions that are the top in their field, to come together on the Columbine stage and share their music and a very short message about what it means to them to be a peace musician. So we have an incredible lineup. There are pictures out in the lobby of the artists involved, as well as bios for them. I'm just going to tell you that these are some of the most world-renowned artists you're ever going to hear, with albums and albums and albums and appearances all over the world, representing everything that you can imagine, from Afro-Cuban Santeria all the way to Nepali Hinduism. So tickets are on sale now. I hope that you'll see Rachel out in the lobby. If you need help getting online, you can get them right on our website. There's also a Breeze form. And we'd like to pack this sanctuary and really walk our talk in being the welcoming and globally minded community that we are as Unity Thinkers. So we hope we see you on the 12th. Get your tickets now. Thank you so much. Oh, finally, one more thing. If you want to sing with the choir at Easter, we're starting up on March 17th. So please write to me at Columbine, Janice at columbineunity.org, or come and see me personally, and we'll hook you up with what we're doing.
Take a breath. Thanks, Janice. So strategic planning, we've been in the middle of, most of you know, we're in the middle of our strategic planning process right now. We have set a purpose statement for the next 3 to 5 years. We've got goals, and now we are in the process of gathering ideas, strategies to meet those goals. So right after this service, we're going to take about a 10-minute break to let you stretch, but we'll come back and have a brainstorming session. So it'll be fast, it'll be fun, it'll be just ideas, every idea. Right here in this sanctuary, Johnny Dario's going to be facilitating that, and if you are online watching, you can participate as well. We will close out the live stream after the service, but then we will bring it back up on our website, columbineunity.org/watch, and you can participate that way. If you have any strategies or ideas you want to share, we will have somebody monitoring that. Just type them in the chat box. We want your input too. So everybody is welcome. Every idea is valid, and we want to get them all and gather them all so that we can then develop a strategic plan from those ideas that we can bring forth and have this community be this beacon of light that we all know it is, and just see the next 3 to 5 years really blossoming and being in this vibrant community. So I hope you'll join us right after the service. Who's our prayer chaplain today? We've got Carolyn. Where are you going to be, Carolyn? Because we've got just a short time. She's going to be up here right after the service, before we start the strategic planning brainstorming session. If you want to pray, if you need prayer, spiritual support, you can sit down with Carolyn and let her words just permeate your consciousness and fill you with the love, the Christ love. I think that's it. Awesome. Let's all stand and sing our peace song together.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. We love you. Namaste. Let's take it out, brass band style.